Here we are, day 7, module 7, and this is befriending our anxiety. So for a long time, I really wanted to obviously just get rid of my anxiety. I wanted it to be gone. I didn't want to have it anymore. I didn't want to deal with it. And I realized after a while that just getting rid of the anxiety is actually not necessarily a possibility. Anxiety is something that is natural. It helps keep us alive, and it helps keep us out of danger. And what I'm talking about here is small, regular levels of anxiety. So people that suffer from, extreme anxiety, that have panic disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, et cetera, is basically this level of anxiety that keeps us alive and it just doesn't shut itself off. And so an example of anxiety that is warranted would be, we're walking down a big city at nighttime and we think, oh, you know what, maybe I'm going to go through this alleyway and it's midnight and you're by yourself and this comes up that says, what if somebody attacks you in that alleyway? And you're like, yeah, oh gosh, maybe I shouldn't do that. So you keep walking. So these are the types of anxiety that are totally common, really helpful, and we need to have them. And so that's why actually just like getting rid of your anxiety isn't necessarily something that we can do, and nor would we want to, because we do need some level of anxiety within our body. However, it's when this anxiety doesn't shut off and that we become anxious over so many different things all day, or that our memories are triggering anxiety, or our thoughts are triggering anxiety, or when it becomes, if we're not actually in danger, like for example, some people could cause anxiety within you, or an argument with somebody and you just get so upset and you can't really shut it off, right? These are things where our anxiety has gone to a new level where it's no longer helpful, right? And so what we've been doing in modules 1 through 6 is gaining the tools and the ability to deepen our awareness to really understand where this anxiety is coming from and how we can start to shift mind processes, exercises, all of these different things to help us begin to understand our anxiety and alleviate the symptoms by becoming so thoroughly aware of them. And in mindfulness training, one of the biggest, it's a saying that people use all the time, and that is what we resist persists. What we resist persists. So the more that we try to fight against our anxiety, the more, in most cases, it will actually increase or get bigger or not go away. Because the more we pull away from it, like, for example, if I said to you right now, pink elephant. Somebody used this example on me the other day. Anyways, pink elephant. Don't think about a pink elephant. Don't think about it. Don't think about a pink elephant. I mean, what are you going to do? As soon as I say pink elephant, you're going to start thinking about this pink elephant, right? So, but then getting upset with yourself because, I thought about the pink elephant, right? And so this is sort of what it means, is that the more you resist something, what you're actually doing is putting your attention on it, okay? But not in a helpful, positive way. So what we need to learn to do is to bring our attention and bring our awareness to our anxiety, but allow ourselves to watch it instead of getting wrapped up in it. Okay, and this is obviously where the real challenge comes in, because for so long, these thoughts, these anxieties have, we've just gotten wrapped up in them. And so now to suddenly say, okay, you know what, we're just going to sit here and watch them pass. It is a challenge. But the good thing is that all of the exercises and things that we've been doing in modules 1 through 6 are preparing us for this next step. This next step to really be able to just sit with our thoughts, to sit with our anxieties, and allow them to be. So we actually, in this module, we will learn ways to sit with the discomfort. And so this will involve lots of different activities, including, approaching our anxieties in particular ways, sitting with them in meditations, etc. And so what I'm, some of the things that we fear, which could be change or uncertainty or our physical symptoms, right? Sometimes those physical symptoms can trigger. Sometimes social situations, sometimes sleep, sometimes just other random activities we don't even know. Sometimes standing in the grocery store. Sometimes it's a very particular interaction that we have with somebody that triggers this, but then we're unable to shut it off. And so the more and more that we sit there going, I just want this to end, I just want this to end. In fact, the more and more we're putting our attention on it, and the more and more that we're actually creating a bigger situation. And there's another beautiful phrase in mindfulness that says, where our attention goes, our energy flows. And I have a really good example of this that actually happened to me. When I was still learning to sit with these things, I was actually in one of my training classes in mindfulness meditation at the University of Toronto. And this one was using art therapy and mindfulness. And I had been so looking forward to this course, absolutely looking forward to this course. And we had done about four exercises that day. It doesn't matter how many we did. But we were about to do another one. And I had just been sitting at the table as I had been all day, and I had been fine. And all of a sudden I just felt the anxiety. And I thought, oh gosh, here it is. And at that point, I had already learned some things that I would do to help myself get out of that state. And it was usually I would take myself for a little walk, etc., right? But at this point in time, I didn't want to do that because we were about to start the next activity. And it was the last activity for the day. And I really, really, really wanted to partake in it. And so we had to go into a meditation, and then we had to draw whatever was in our head, and draw or paint or what have you. And so I really, really wanted to do this. So I sat there the whole time she's doing this guided meditation, and the anxiety's coming up, and I'm just going, nope, not right now. Nope, not right now. Nope, not right now. The whole time, barely paying attention to this, guided meditation. It's going in and out. And then all of a sudden, okay, the guided meditation is over, and we have to draw whatever was in our head. And you should see this picture. I should have actually gotten it out for this, but it is wild. Like, there's just things everywhere. And as I was putting it on the page, I was like, oh my gosh, that was my anxiety. And then as we were sharing, the anxiety was coming up. I was almost in tears because the anxiety was just so bad by that point, because I had been trying to squash it down. And so I actually said this to everybody, and that this is what was going on with me. And I mean, of course, being in this group that I was in, they said, why didn't you just tell us that and take a few minutes? Like, we would have waited. And I thought I should have, but I was trying to control it in a way by just saying, no, I don't want this right now. I don't want this right now. It's not going to happen right now. And instead, what I did is made it really, really big. And so this is why it's so important to, instead of push against it, to sit with it, be with it, and become a friend to it, and learn what it is exactly that you need to do in that moment to help get yourself through that. What are some thought processes that we can use? What are some different exercises, meditations? What is it that works for you? And so this is exactly what we will uncover in Module 7, and we will learn ways to handle these things as we become friends with our anxiety. Okay, we learn how to hold that space for our anxiety, learn how to deal with it, see it through, and watch it. And so, in the coming, that was a few years ago now, maybe 3 years ago now, maybe a bit more. But anyways, just now when these things come up, I handle them in such a different way, and I'm able to watch them and sort of keep them at an arm's distance, instead of being so consumed by these symptoms of anxiety. And so it is, it's my old friend, like, hey there, anxiety, welcome back. Nice to see you. Instead of going, oh no, it's happening again, because that's what I used to be like. So there you have it. That is Module 7, befriending our anxiety. Is totally important a little bit challenging, but when you learn how to put these practices in place and how to sit with your anxiety in this way, it's a game changer, an absolute game changer. So hopefully you got something from there. Hopefully that made sense to you. I love talking about this. Sometimes I talk a little bit fast, but anywho, I hope to see you in module 8 in the next video, where we sort of sum everything up, and I'll see you there. Bye.